Imagine a world where electricity flows freely through the air like invisible rivers of energy. This isn't some far-flung concept from a science fiction novel, no. In this world, a group of audacious scientists have made this a reality. These pioneers, daring to push the boundaries of conventional understanding, were experimenting with high-frequency electrical waves when they stumbled upon something extraordinary. They discovered a frequency that could ionize the air, forging a conductive path for electricity to flow through. Picture it, if you will, a river of electricity winding its way through the sky, seeking the path of least resistance just like water seeks the sea. The implications of this discovery were, to put it mildly, earth-shattering. Suddenly, the prospect of transmitting energy without the constraints of wires became a reality. Skyscrapers, vehicles, even the device you're using to listen to this very narration, all powered by the very air we breathe. It was as if we were on the cusp of a new age, an age where electricity could be harnessed from the skies and where the cumbersome wires that crisscross our landscapes could become obsolete. The initial reactions to this discovery were a mix of fear, disbelief, and awe. Scientists around the world were stunned. Their understanding of physics turned on its head. The general public, on the other hand, was both thrilled and terrified. The idea of electricity flowing freely through the air was as exhilarating as it was frightening. But as with all groundbreaking discoveries, there was a sense of optimism. The potential benefits were too great to ignore. This could revolutionize the way we generate and consume energy. Cities could be powered more efficiently. Vehicles could run without the need for fossil fuels, and our dependence on traditional power grids could be significantly reduced. With this discovery, the world was on the brink of a new era, an era of wireless electricity. But as we would soon find out, this monumental breakthrough was not without its perils. But as with all great discoveries, there was a dark side. The initial awe and wonder of electricity coursing freely through the air quickly metamorphosed into a horrific spectacle. The once benign air we breathed, the sky we gazed upon, turned into a lethal electric field. Imagine a flock of birds gracefully soaring through the sky only to be consumed by an invisible force. Their feathers ignited, their bodies transformed into fiery projectiles falling from the sky like burning rain. Trees, those silent sentinels of nature, became unwitting conduits for this free-roaming electricity. Their sap boiled and their bark exploded into a shower of embers, turning forests into blazing infernos. But the horror didn't stop there. As the air turned into an electrified death trap, cities descended into chaos. Picture the hustle and bustle of a thriving metropolis abruptly silenced. The air, charged with deadly currents, made venturing outside akin to playing Russian roulette. Every step could be your last, as random bolts of electricity sought the easiest path to the ground. More often than not, that path was through a human body. The once comforting sound of rain became a symphony of terror. Each droplet, upon hitting the ground, sparked miniature lightning storms, turning streets into strobe-lit nightmares. The gentle breeze transformed into an unseen harbinger of death, carrying deadly currents to unsuspecting victims. The very essence of life, the air we breathe, had become a conduit for electrocution. Homes were no longer safe havens. The invisible electrical currents permeated walls, turning household items into potential executioners. A simple touch of a metal object could send a lethal jolt coursing through your body. The world had turned into an electric nightmare. The earth, once a nurturing mother, had become a treacherous adversary. Every breath we took, every step we made was fraught with the risk of electrifying demise. We were living in a world where the very air around us had turned against us, a world where electricity, once our servant, had become our master. The world had turned into an electric nightmare. In the face of such terror, mankind adapted in bizarre ways. The familiar contours of society warped and twisted, molded by the invisible power coursing through the air. Buildings transformed into massive Faraday cages, their metal skeletons serving as shields against the atmospheric electrical onslaught. The architecture of our cities, once a testament to human creativity and ambition, became a monument to survival. People, too, adapted to this electrified new world. The fashion of the day was not silk or satin, but rubber. Rubber suits became the new normal, a necessary defense against the lethal currents. Gas masks, previously reserved for the most dire of emergencies, became as common as hats or scarves. Humanity, in its struggle to survive, took on the appearance of a species from a distant, alien world. But adaptation came at a cost. The economy, so reliant on traditional electricity, crumbled. Industries that once powered the world fell to ruin, their machinery useless against the invisible enemy. Unemployment soared, and with it, desperation. Yet from the ashes of the old economy, a new one arose. A market for air-insulated living spaces and personal protective gear emerged, filling the vacuum left by the fall of the old world. This new economy, however, only served to deepen the divide between the rich and the poor. The wealthy retreated to their shielded palaces, insulated from the electric chaos outside. The poor, meanwhile, were forced to brave the deadly air, risking electrocution for the sake of survival. The invisible currents in the air became not just a physical barrier, but a social one as well. In this world of rubber and metal, of fear and adaptation, a new order emerged. Society was no longer shaped by wealth or status, but by one's ability to navigate the electrified air. The world had changed, and with it, the rules that governed it. A new world order had emerged, dictated by the invisible currents in the air. Yet even in the darkest times, there's always a glimmer of hope. As our world adapted to this new electric reality, a few ingenious minds saw beyond the horror. They saw an opportunity to harness this airborne electricity, to tame the invisible beast that had brought society to its knees. In the midst of chaos, these pioneers dared to experiment, to innovate. They created devices that could draw power straight from the very air we breathe. Picture a field of turbines, not harvesting wind, but electricity. Spinning silently in the charged atmosphere, these turbines captured the rampant energy, transforming it into a usable form. This was a new kind of energy industry, a radical departure from anything we'd seen before. The power plants of yore, with their towering smokestacks and sprawling complexes, were replaced by fields of air turbines. Compact, silent, and deadly efficient, these devices put power back into the hands of humanity. These brave individuals, these air farmers, became the new energy tycoons. They built their fortunes on the invisible power that filled the air. They brought light to the darkness, warmth to the cold, and hope to the despairing. Their turbines stood as beacons of progress, a testament to human resilience in the face of catastrophe. But these air farmers did more than just provide power. They offered a new vision for our world, a vision where electricity was not a deadly menace, but a resource to be harnessed. A vision where the air we breathe, once a conduit for death, could become a source of life. As we navigated this new reality, the air farmers stood at the forefront of change. They showed us that even in the face of horror, there's always a way forward. They reminded us of the power of innovation, of the human capacity to adapt and overcome. And so, as society picked up the pieces, as we learned to live in this electrified world, the air farmers offered a beacon of hope. They showed us that even in the darkest times, we can find a way to harness the storm.